The National Bureau of Investigation will probe China's alleged troll farm in the Philippines, seeking to influence the country's political discourse. In an ambush interview on Thursday, April 24, National Security Council Assistant Director General Jonathan Malaya says the NBI committed to investigate the alleged troll farm. He believes there are criminal implications with regard to the alleged local troll farm being used by China against the Philippine government. He notes that the Commission on Elections may also check if the firm reportedly involved in the troll farm violated any election regulations. During the Senate Special Panel on Maritime and Admiralty Zones hearing, Senator Francis Tolentino bared proof of the supposed troll farm used by China. He showed an alleged service agreement in 2023 between the Chinese Embassy in Manila and Infinitus Marketing Solutions, a Filipino-registered corporation based in Makati. Tolentino also presented a copy of a check supposedly showing that the Chinese embassy paid Infinitus 930,000 pesos in 2023. According to Tolentino, Infinitus's job is to hire keyboard warriors and to supposedly discredit the Philippine government.
Meron silang agreement. Ang trabaho ng Infinitus is to provide keyboard warriors. Ang ginagawa po is to openly provide information and convey the policies of the Chinese government. The money that the Chinese embassy paid was for something hidden and sinister. It was to finance a troll farm. Troll farm po yun. A covert disinformation and influence operation against the Philippine government and the Filipino people.
China is, quote, politically committed to having a binding code of conduct on the South China Sea by 2026, according to Foreign Affairs Secretary Enrique Manalo. In an ambush interview on Thursday, April 24, Manalo says all parties are committed to completing the code of conduct by next year. This includes China and the Association of Southeast Asian Nations.
We're all politically committed to achieving having a code by next year, but we'll see. We'll try our best. Everyone has agreed that we'd all like to have a code by 2026, but we have to agree. We will do all we can to try and achieve a successful negotiation.
Manalo notes there are still some issues within the Code of Conduct that need to get the consensus of all countries. According to Manalo, some issues that need to be addressed include the scope and nature of the code. The Philippines and ASEAN countries have been working with China in seeking to produce a framework to establish a code of conduct for the disputed South China Sea. Earlier, the Philippines voiced its concerns during negotiations on the code. According to the DFA, the Philippines called for adherence to international law, particularly the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea and the 2016 Arbitral Award. Two People's Liberation Army Navy vessels were spotted off northern Luzon, according to the Philippine Navy. In an interview on Thursday, April 24, Navy spokesperson Captain John Percy Alcos says Chinese aircraft carrier Shandong was detected on April 22 around 2 nautical miles southwest of Babuyan Islands. Meanwhile, a Chinese electronic surveillance ship was monitored about 33 nautical miles northwest of Dalupiri Island. According to a United States Naval Institute report, the Chinese aircraft carrier was dispatched for the second time this month. For this deployment, the report notes that Shandong is operating closer to the Philippines. The report says China's deployment could be part of its training schedule, or it could be a response to the Balikatan exercises. The joint military drills of the Philippines and the U.S. began on Monday, April 21, and will run until May 9. China has previously condemned the support of the U.S. for the Philippines in its maritime row over the West Philippine Sea. The palace hits back at Vice President Sara Duterte after she criticized the Marcos administration's move to sell rice at 20 pesos per kilo. The Vice President earlier said the initiative to sell rice at 20 pesos per kilo in Visayas was an attempt to supposedly fool Filipinos. In a briefing on Thursday, April 24, Palace Press Officer Claire Castro urges Duterte not to let the culture of crab mentality prevail. She also questions why Duterte was making this statement just now, just as the administration is finally fulfilling its promise.
Ngayon po, na unti-unting natutupad ang aspirasyon na ito ng Pangulo, bakit muli na naman silang nagsasalita, nagiging negatibo? Sana po sa mga leader, ang tunay na leader at tunay na Pilipino ay dapat sumusuporta sa kapwa Pilipino, lalong-lalo na sa pinuno ng bansa. Huwag sanang pairalin ang crab mentality at huwag maging anay sa lipunan.
Duterte also said that the administration-backed Alyansa para sa Bagong Pilipinas might be having difficulty securing votes in Visayas. The Vice President said this might explain the program's pilot implementation in the region. However, Castro dismisses this outlook, saying that Visayas has an abundant stock of rice from the National Food Authority. She also refutes Duterte's remark that the rice to be sold at a low cost is fit only for animals.
Hindi porkit po umura ang bigas, sasabihin na panghayop ang nasabing bigas. Liliwanagin lamang po natin. Ang ibebentang bigas ay yung bigas po na nabibili ngayon sa halagang 33 pesos. So wag po nating maliitin ang mga farmers natin dahil local farmers po manggagaling ang bigas na ito.
The Ateneo de Manila University and the University of the Philippines are the top universities in the country, according to the Times Higher Education. Based on the 2025 Asia University rankings, both Ateneo and UP are placed in the 501 to 600 bracket. This is out of at least 800 universities from 35 countries and territories in Asia. Although they are in the same bracket, Ateneo scored higher in research quality and teaching. On the other hand, UP gained more points for industry, international outlook, and research environment. Ateneo dropped in this year's ranking as it was in the 401 to 500 bracket in the same category last year. Meanwhile, UP maintained its position in the same rank as last year. Other universities from the Philippines included in the rankings are De La Salle University, Mapua University, Mindanao State University, Iligan Institute of Technology, and the University of Santo Tomas. And these are the stories you need to know today. I'm Neil Mercado. Follow INQUIRER.net on Facebook, X, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and Reddit. For more stories, visit INQUIRER.net. Good evening.